जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण। Hare Krishna, dear devotee. Today is 3rd of November. It is Sunday, and it is Kartika Masa, Damodara Masa, Shukla Paksha, and Vidya Thidi. So today there are few events today. So one is the disappearance day of Sri Vasudeva Ghosh, and another event is Yamad Vidya or Bhakti Bhai Dooj. Special date from this Kandisiki.com about Vasudeva Ghosh. So the three brothers, Sri Vasudeva Ghosha, Sri Madhava Ghosha, and Sri Govinda Dasa were very expert singers. Sri Nityananda Prabhu himself would dance as they sang from the Chaitanya Bhagavata until 5 to 59. According to some, their maternal uncle's house was in the village of Buran or Burangi in Srihatta. So their father later took up residence at Kumarahatta. After residing there for some time, the three brothers came to live at Navadvipa. They were born in the family of Uttara Radhiya Kayastas and were very intimate associates of Sri Nitai Gauranga. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura states that they are immediate expansions of Srimati Radhika's body. All three of them composed very sweet songs describing the Leelas of Sri Gaurasundara and Sri Krishna. They have particularly described the childhood pastimes of Gaurahari, his Sankirtana pastimes, and acceptance of sannyasa, as well as the descriptions of the beauty of Nityananda Prabhu. According to Gaura Ganedeshi Deepika, so Sri Govinda, Sri Madhava, and Sri Vasudeva were in Vrajalela as Kalavati, Rasollasa, Guntinga, Guntinga Guntingi Sakes. Vasudeva and Madhava were sent with Nityananda to preach in Bengal. Govinda stayed for some time with Mahaprabhu at Neelachal. Every year they would come to Puri to see Mahaprabhu and perform Kirtana during Radayatra. Later in life, they took up residence at different places. Sri Govinda lived in Agradweep, Sri Madhava in Dainahat, and Sri Vasudeva in Tamluk. So this is about the Vasudeva Ghosh. So he is the very good singer, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to dance. So that is his disappearance day today. Okay, so that is where we see him. And then another event is the Bhai Dooj. This is we have seen already yesterday about the or Yama's with the Yamadaitya. And where the sister she gives the Raksha Bandhan to his brothers. So that is Bhai Dooj festival. Uh, and Yamadharmaraja, he blessed the Yamuna. Yamuna is the sister of Yamadharmaraja. So this is a few things that we have seen. And whoever is um, coming to the Yamuna river on this particular day and take bath in the Yamuna river, and then they do not take birth again in this material world. So there are some kinds of benedictions. So that means that they will get all kinds of opportunities to go out of this material world. So they will be progressed in the spiritual life. Okay, so that is about this particular event. Bhai Dooj have originated when Lord Krishna visited his sister Subhadra as well after defeating the demon Narakasura, Subhadra welcomed him with sweets, flowers, and tilak on his forehead. So this is all generally. Yesterday also we have seen this particular event. Okay, that is about the today's events. So we shall quickly move into our daily Srimad-Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Sukadeva Goswami started speaking to Parikshit Maharaj in order to answer to all the questions raised by Parikshit. So yesterday he was mentioning about without the energy, external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, living entity cannot come into this material world and touch with the matter and experience these pains and pleasures just like a dream. So he is experiencing just by the external energy of the Lord. So Atmayam Ruterajan Parasya Anubhavatmanaha न घटेत अर्ध संबंधः स्वप्न दृष्टुर इवांजसा. Just like a swapna drishtuhu, one can see his dream, one can see himself in his dream. That is everything. Atmayam Ruterajan Parasya Anubhavatmanaha. So likewise, Sukadeva Goswami started speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. So today he is mentioning in the similar way, by the energy of the Lord, he wanders in the 8.4 millions of different kinds of species in so many living bodies. So and then experiencing these pains and pleasures. But in all these things, it is mine. This is mine. If I am in a cat, this is mine. If I am in a dog body, I am a dog. If I am in some human body, I am a human. If I am in a tree body, I am a tree. Likewise, he distinguishes himself with his body, but actually he is different from the body. So likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is mentioning. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 9 and verse number 2. बहुरूप इवा भाति माया बहुरूपया रममानो गुणेश्वस्य ममाहमिति मन्यते. बहुरूप इवा भाति. Bahurupa is the multi-forms. Iva bhati, so as it were, abhati manifested in so many forms. This is all about the living entity, individual living entity. Bahurupa iva bhati, maya bahurupaya, maya by the influence of the exterior energy, bahurupaya in multifarious forms. Ramamano Guneshwasya, and enjoying as it were Guneshwasya in the modes of different qualities. Asya of the external energy. Mamahamiti manyate, mine, mama, mine, aham, I, myself. Iti manyate, in this way he thinks like that. So he wanders in different forms, like all the 8.4 million species, like the living entities in the water, living entities like the reptiles and serpents, living entities like the birds which are in the air, and there are different kinds of beasts like the huge bodies, four-legged animals are different kinds of beasts, and the human forms. So likewise, 8.4 million different kinds of species, and also worms, insects. So likewise, so wherever he goes, he thinks that I am this body. Likewise, mamahamiti manyate, he thinks in such a way. Bahurupa iva bhati maya bahurupaya ramamano guneshwasya mamaham iti manyate. The translation for this verse. The illusion living entity appears in so many forms offered by the external energy of the Lord. While enjoying in the modes of material nature, the encaged living entity misconceives, thinking in terms of I and mine. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request Prabhavati Mataji if available to read the purport, please? Or any other devotees, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'm working, so I
Yes,
have to go to work. So sorry. Next
yes.
time.
Thank you, Mataji.
I can do it, Prabhu, if you want.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Oh, where is it? It's disappeared. Oh, Prabhu, I can't get it up, Prabhu. It's in a corner. I think Prabhuji Sachimataji is on a big screen. I don't know how you do that. Remove pin. Oh, that's it. Okay, I think now it might do it. Oh, Haribol is come up now. The different forms of the living entities are different dresses offered by the illusory external energy of the Lord. According to the modes of nature, the living entities desires to enjoy. The external material energy is represented by her three modes, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. So even in the material nature, there is a chance of an independent choice by the living entity. And according to his choice, the material energy offers him different varieties of material bodies. There are 900,000 varieties of material bodies in the water, 2 million vegetable bodies, 1,100,000 worms and reptiles, 1 million forms of birds, 3 million different bodies of breasts of beasts, and 400,000 human forms. Although there are 8,400,000 varieties of bodies in different planets of the universe, and the living entity is traveling by so many transmigrations according to different modes of enjoying spirit within himself. Even in one particular body, the living entity changes from childhood to boyhood, and from boyhood to youth, and from youth to old age, and from old age to another body created by his own action. The living entity creates his own body by his personal desires, and the external energy of the Lord supplies him the exact form by which he can enjoy his desires to the fullest extent. The tiger wanted to eat the blood of another animal, and therefore, by the grace of the Lord, the material energy supply him the body of the tiger with facilities for enjoying blood from another animal. Similarly, a living being Similarly, a living entity desiring to get the body of a demigod in a higher planet can also get it by the grace of the Lord. And if he is intelligent enough, he can desire to get a spiritual body to enjoy the company of the Lord, and he will get it. So, the minute freedom of the living entity can be fully utilized, and the Lord is so kind that he will award the living entity the same type of body he desires. The living entities desiring is like dreaming of a golden mountain. A person knows what is a mountain, what a mountain is, and he knows also that gold is out of his desire only. He dreams of golden mountain, and when the dream is over, he sees something else in his presence. He finds in his awakened state that there is neither gold nor mountain. And what to speak of golden mountain? The different positions of the living entities in the material world under multifarious manifestations of bodies are due to the microception of mind and I, the misconception, sorry. The karmi thinks of this world as mine, and the jnani thinks I am everything. The whole material conception of politics, sociology, philanthropy, altruism, etc., conceived by the conditioned souls, is on the basis of the misconceived I and mine, which are products of a strong desire to enjoy material life. Identification with the body and the place where the body is obtained under different conception of socialism, nationalism, family affection, and so on and so forth, is all due to forgetfulness of the real nature of the living entity, and the whole misconception of the bewildered living entity can be removed by the association of Sukadev Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit, as all this is explained in the Srimad-Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri
Jai,
Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here in this purport, Prabhupada is explaining about the different forms of the living entities or different dresses offered by the illusory or external energy of the Lord. He gives all the necessities through the mother, and the children, they take those dresses and then experience pains and pleasures. Okay, those are the three material modes by the namely material modes like goodness, passion, and ignorance. So here, and this is the different living entities. Jalaja Navalakkanin. So 900,000 varieties of material bodies in the water, 2 millions in the vegetable bodies, 1.1 million worms and reptiles, 1 million forms of birds, 3 million of beasts, 400 human forms, 400,000 of human forms. Altogether, 8.4 million species of different bodies. So they experience all these things. They, irrespective of whether that body is comfortable or not, he experiences all these things. So जन्तुः जन्तुर्वैभव एतस्मिन् यां यां योनिम् अनुव्रजेत् तस्यां तस्यां स लभते निवृत्तिं न विरज्यते. So whatever the body he goes, janturvai bhava etasmin. If he takes that a cat body or dog body or a small worm or insect or something like that, janturvai bhava etasmin yam yam yonim anurajet. Wherever he goes, then what he thinks? Tasyam salabhate nivritim na virijyate. He does not want to leave that particular body. Even though it is the narakastopi deham vai na pumam tyaktum ichchati. He does not will to, even though narakastopi deham vai. That body is even though how broken, but still he doesn't want to leave. We might have seen this kind of experience somewhere. Like the living entity, narakastopi deham vai na pumam tyaktumichati. He does not wish to leave that body. He wanted to still retain within that body. Narakyam nirutaiv satyam devamaya vimohitaha. This is due to the devamaya, the illusory energy of the Lord. And still, in that hellish condition also, he would experience those pains and pleasures. That is the illusory energy. And that is all by, so one in this particular body living entity changes from childhood to boyhood, and this is the gradual elevation. And then further, the living entity creates his own body by his personal desires, and the external energy of the Lord supplies him the extra extract form by which he can enjoy his desires to the fullest extent. So sometimes we may be killing one particular living entity, either goat or a cow or something, but it has not yet finished its life. So here, such kind of living entities, they may take again to continue the progress. If they have not got the desire fulfilled properly, they need to take another life in a similarly like another goat, another cow form, another living entity form, if their desire is not yet fulfilled. That is that he can enjoy his desires to the fullest extent. So and also human life. Sometimes many people they commit suicide due to the distress or anything disturbance caused by the closest family members like that. So this kind of suicide, what happens because they have not satisfactorily completed that life, though they have got the human body, they have to take another body. and because it is unfinished desires. So that is very sinful activity. We have got the very valuable form of human life. That is most sinful activity. So here, likewise, Prabhupada is mentioning that until he finishes his desires, uh, he has to take the similar kind of body. And then later on, if one wanted to enjoy the blood of another animal, therefore, by the grace of the Lord, the material energy supplied him the body of the tiger. If he gets a tiger body, then Prabhupada mentions that if someone knows that if there is a tiger, no one will go to that place, and tiger has to starve for some time. Such kind of difficulties would exist again with the tiger. So every living entity has to go through many problems throughout for their survival purpose. It doesn't matter if it is human, he will unnecessarily go to the schools and all these things, education, just for his livelihood. Though there is food grains are available, and he can just grow the food grains by himself, grow some fruits and plants, though it is there, but he wanted to enjoy so many things. And sometimes some of them are they do not want to go to school, but still they are forced to go to school by the parents or by the government, because those desires are like that. Everything starts at the desire. And then further, similarly, living in desiring to get the body of a demigod in a higher planet can also get it by the grace of the Lord. If one performs following the Vedic injunctions, then if he performs 100 Ashwamedha yajnas, then he will get the post of Indra. And the next in life, likewise, he can go up to Brahma as well if he is a qualified enough. And in Krishna consciousness, so, and Prabhupada gives another analogy that if one is studying the uh, kind of a doctor course kind of thing, then if he is passed, then he will become a qualified doctor. If he has not passed, still he will be given license like to practice LMS, something like that, license for medical service, something like that. So he can practice separately, though he is not qualified. Likewise, in Krishna consciousness, if he has not successful in this life, then he will be getting another opportunity. Suchinam Shrimatam Gehe. He will get the birth in the Brahmana's family or the rich family to continue his spiritual progress. So that is Palpamapis Dharmasya Traite Mahato Bhayat. And here, if one is intelligent enough, he can desire to get a spiritual body to enjoy the company of the Lord, and he will get it. So this is the desire. Everything starts at the desire. Based on the desire, everything, all kinds of arrangements are done by the Krishna or the Prakriti. Krishna or Prakriti. So if the desire is Krishna, the Krishna arranges everything. And then if he is wanted to enjoy the Lord it over the nature, nature arranges the body and to experience those pains and pleasures. So that minute freedom of the living entity can be fully utilized. This is the minute freedom of the living entity. So everything starts at the desire. Desire is the this is a natural constitutional position of a living entity. And the Lord is so kind that he will award the living entity the same type of body he desires. The living entity desiring is like dreaming of golden mountain. Of course, the golden mountain, though we have got so much of wealth, we cannot enjoy everything else. Okay, so and here further Prabhupada is explaining different positions of the living entities in the material world under the multifarious manifestations of the bodies are due to misconceptions of mind and I. This is aham mameti again. So we used to hear these words mine and I in number of times again and again. The karmi thinks of this world as mine, and the jnani thinks I am everything, and the whole material conception of politics, sociology, philanthropy, altruism, conceived by the conditioned souls, is on the basis of this misconceived I and mine. These are all bodily level. But actually, one has to see that Supreme Lord, He is in the heart of all the living entities. Ishvaraha sarvabhutanam buddheshe jnatistati. Brahmayan Sarvabhutani Mantraruhudani Maya. So there are actually the bodies are all just like a machines. And Yantraruhudani Maya by the external energy of the Lord. And then identification with the body and the place where the body is obtained under the different conceptions of socialism. This is where he has grown and where he took birth and studying, going to school, associating with the people. Based on that, he will act by forcefully by the nature. If he is taking birth in the some kind of Muslim countries, for example, in the and then he may be like acting as a anyways to another country. If he is taking birth in some kind of another country, kind of Israel, something like that, then he will act as I'm Israel, so these people are enemies to me. So in the next birth, they will act like that. So this is all by the external energy of the Lord because of their past activities. Because when that is the conception while they're leaving their body, they will take birth in this country or in that country. One day he is friendly to the same person in an mito nigdhanti bhutani bhavayanti cha yanmitaha. So this is Hare Krishna. So mito apologies. I think Shyam Prabhuji has joined. Okay, so sometimes the living entities they act as a friends each other and sometimes they act as a envious. Mito nigdhanti bhutani bhavayanti cha yanmitaha. Sometimes they act as a friend, sometimes they act as a enemy. So that is the nature of nature of the living entities who are under the illusory energy of the Lord. Okay, so that is from Srimad-Bhagavatam. There is much thing, but we shall come back to this point later on. Everything is explained in the Srimad-Bhagavatam. So when we are hearing these conversations between Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit, all this knowledge is revealed. So that is Bahurupa Yavabhati Maya Bahurupaya Ramamano Guneshwasya Mamaham Iti Manyate. So likewise, living entity wanders in the 8.4 different million species of life. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are nearly at 7 o'clock. So we shall move to the Damodarastakam. So today our Damodarastakam by Shyam Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Shyam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
And Pranam. And
Pranam.
yes, kindly turn on the videos when you are doing the day lamp offering to the Lord.
Yes, Prabhuji, I have it. You can hear me okay?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Yeah. Can I just do the offering here so we can?
Yes, Prabhuji, yeah, kindly do that.
Okay. So this is Damodara and Yashodamata in Damodara. So I'll get started up, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hey.
Namamishwaram Sachitanandarupam Lasakundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodabiyulokalaadavanam Param Rustamachantato Dritya Gopya Rudantamuhurnitram yugmam rujantam karambujayugmena satankanitram muhu swasakam patrirekangakanta sitagraivam damodaram bhaktivadam iti driksvalila Swagosham nimajyantam akyapyantam तदेशिताज्ञेषु भक्तैर्जिता त्वं पुनः प्रेमातस्तं सतवृत्तिवन्दे वरं देवा मोक्षं न मोक्षं वदें वा न चैन्यं वृणीहां वा रषदपि हा इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपालबालम् सदा मे मनसा वीरसं किमन्ये इदं ते मुखाम्बोजम् अचन्तनीलै वृतं कुण्ठालै स्निग्धारतैश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्तादरं मे मनःशावीरस्तं मालं लक्षणाभै नमो देवा दामोदर विष्णु प्रसीदा प्रभो दुःखजालविभग्नम् कृपादृष्टिवृष्याते दिनं बतानु गृहानिशामम् अजम् ईदृक्षदृश्या कुबेरात्माजौ बद्धामृचैव याद्वत् त्वया मोचितो भक्ति भजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्ति स्वाकमे प्रयाच न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेस्ति दामोदरेह नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायात विश्वस्य दाम्ने नमो राधिकाय त्वादीया प्रियाये नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय यशोददामोदर श्री राधे जय यशोददामोदर दामोदर श्री राधे जय यशोददामोदर श्री राधे यशोदा माता की जय दाम की जय हरे कृष्णा प्रभु
Very beautiful, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving me the service.
Yeah, translations. Translations, Prabhuji.
Translation, yes, sure, Prabhuji. To the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge, and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokula, who I, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from his swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, but who was being caught from behind by her, who ran after him with greater speed. To that Supreme Lord Sri Damodara, I offer my humble obeisances. Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he's crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord Sri Damodara, whose belly is bound not with ropes, but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. By such childhood pastimes as this, he is drowning the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of awe and reverence. With great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodara hundreds and hundreds of times. O Lord, O Lord, although you're able to give all kind of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bala Gopala in Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart. For what is the use to me of any other boon beside this? O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever be manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you. O Damodara, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, be pleased upon me. By showering your glance of mercy upon me, deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes. O Lord Damodara, just as the two sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nalakuvera, were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby tied with a rope to the wooden grinding mortar. In the same way, please give to me your own prema bhakti. I only long for this and I have no desire for any kind of liberation. O Lord Damodara, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent robe which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord, who displays unlimited pastimes. Hare Krishna, Damodar Bhagwan ki jai, Yashoda
Jai.
ki jai.
Uh,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very
Thank you,
beautiful
Prabhuji.
song, and it all this Damodarastakam and read nicely. Thank you so much. Very
Thank you.
blissful, and thank you so much, Jahnu Kanya Mataji, Usha Mataji, Asha Mataji, and Sham Prabhuji for turning on the videos. So, and
Prabhu, I'm not sure it was came or not.
yeah, very
Thank you,
beautiful.
Prabhuji, for giving me the service to serve our devotees.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, so that is from Damodarastakam. So we shall quickly move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So thank you so much, Sham Prabhuji. So would you like to read any letter, Prabhuji, if you are available?
Yeah, Prabhuji. Yes.
Okay, so let me just move to the next letter. So today, letter to Ekayani, May 3rd, 1970, Los Angeles. Okay, yes, Prabhuji, it's a bit long letter.
Yeah. My dear Ekayani, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your encouraging letter dated 8th April 1970, and I'm so happy to note your steady enthusiasm to work harder in Krishna's service. So this enthusiasm is very good sign. And if you continue to become more and more enthusiastic to be always strictly engaged in devotional service while observing carefully the rules and regulations, Krishna will surely bestow upon you full success in Krishna consciousness, and thus your life will be happy and successful. Regarding the color of Balaramji, he's colored with like milk white with little bluish tint and rosy luster. Our idea of whitenessness is of the milk form. Regarding whether ivory is offerable to Krishna, yes, ivory is pure. Although it is the bone of an animal, still it is pure as the conch shell, which is also the bone of an animal. The six-armed form which Lord Chaitanya disclosed to Saurabhauma Bhattacharya has two hands of Lord Ramchandra, two hands of Krishna, and two hands of Lord Chaitanya. Perhaps you have seen the picture in our New York temple, which was brought from India by Ketananda Swami. Your question why Lord Shiva was ordered to appear as Sankaracharya and teach the Mayavada philosophy to turn people to atheism and thus increase the population. That nobody can understand. If Krishna desired Lord Shiva to do like that, so he had some plan which we do not understand. He is the Supreme Lord and is maintaining the huge universal affairs. So how does he do things and for what purpose he does them? It is very difficult to understand. Just like he planned the battle of Kurukshetra and he induced his friend, a great devotee Arjuna, to kill. So why does he plan to make others atheists? It is known to him. Our business is to glorify him always. Either he plans to dance with the gopis, or he makes a plan to kill others on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, or he plans to do something which is not very good from materialistic point of view. Our only business is to remain steadfast devotee to Krishna in all such conditions. That is the instruction given in Sistastika, wherein it is said, my Lord, whatever you like to do, you can do. Whatever you like, you can do. But unconditionally, you are my only object of worship. That is pure devotion. I'm so glad to learn that there are two very nice women devotees now coming to the temple regularly. and please offer them my blessings by advancing in Krishna consciousness. Take care of them nicely so that they may learn our program of Krishna consciousness life very nicely. Let them chant regularly and follow the four basic principles, and they will become firm in their faith in Krishna. If you recommend, I shall initiate them, so you can send sets of new beads with their letters and some donation for the book fund. The standard form is that the initiate collects some alms by begging and offers it to the spiritual master as dakshina or presentation. That is nice if you get that land in Miami and open a center there. You are intelligent and eager devotee, ready to spread Lord Krishna's teaching. So do it. That will be very good. It is an excellent proposal. So as you say, the deep southern part of this country is virtually untouched. But I think Kirtananda Maharaj has gone to several places there and he has been very successful. So try to attract the students. They are our great future hope. And they will take up this matter very quickly because the students are not very contaminated. The first two lines of the song, Haraya Nama Krishna, were sung by Lord Chaitanya and his followers, but the other lines of song were composed later on by Srila Narottama Das Thakur. Just fix up your mind on Krishna and everything will come out nice. Be sure of this fact. Study scriptures, always chant, love Krishna, and that is the success of life. Hope this will meet you in good health. Yahweh will wish you easy Bhaktivedanta Swami. Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nicely read. Any takeaway points, Prabhuji, from this letter?
Yes, Prabhuji, because we all have questions about why Shiva has come as Shankaracharya in the form of my other philosophy. So here Prabhupada is very kind of explaining we do not know the will of Sri Krishna Bhagwan. There's maybe some reason there must be in order to send Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya. But again, we have to keep in mind that Adi Shankaracharya is the one who has written Lord Jagannath Astikam, and Bhaja Govindam as well. So it is very nice to see how Prabhupada was always encouraging his devotees. And I feel like sometimes we have so many questions in our mind, but I think we should keep our life simple and practice Krishna consciousness. And whatever doubts we have, they get clarified in its own time. So we should not try to get all the answers in the initial stage itself. We should just progress in Krishna consciousness, and automatically at the right time, the answers will come through.
Would you like to read this one, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji. One may argue that since Shankaracharya is an incarnation of Lord Shiva, how is it that he cheated people in this way? The answer is that he did so on the order of his master, the Supreme Lord. This is confirmed in the Padma Purana in the words of Lord Shiva himself. Mayavadam asach shastram prachanam baudam uchyate mayaiva kalpitam devi kalo brahmana rupina brahmanas chaparam rupam nirgunam bhakshate maya sarvam swayam jagato tasya mahonartam kalau yuge vedanta tu mahasastre mayavadam avaidakam mayaiva vakshayate devi jagatam nasa karanat. The Mayavadi philosophy, Lord Shiva informs his wife Parvati, it is impious, it is covered Buddhism. My dear Parvati, in Kali Yuga, I assume the form of a Brahmana and teach this imagined Mayavadi philosophy. In order to cheat the atheist, I describe the Supreme Lord to be one without form and without qualities. Similarly, in explaining the Vedanta, I describe the same Mayavadi philosophy in order to mislead the entire population towards atheism and by denying the personal form of the Lord. In the Shiva Purana, the Supreme Lord tells Lord Shiva, Dwaparado yuge bhutva kalaya manushadisu swagamai kalpitais twamcha janan mad vimuktan kuru. In Kali Yuga, mislead the people in general by propounding imaginary meanings for the Vedas to bewilder them. These are the descriptions of Puranas.
Yes. So now coming to this letter, Prabhuji. What Prabhupada is explaining here about the Shankaracharya.
Your question why Lord Shiva was ordered to appear as Shankaracharya and teach Mayavada philosophy to turn the people to atheism and thus increase the population. that nobody can understand. If Krishna desired Lord Shiva to do like this, then so he must have had some plan which we do not understand. He is the Supreme Lord. He's maintaining a huge universal affair. So how does he do things and what purpose he does them? It's very difficult to understand. Just like he planned the battle of Kurukshetra and used his friend, a great devotee Arjuna to kill. So why does he plan to make other cities? It is known to him. So it's amazing actually to
Yes.
see how Krishna, what plans Krishna has in doing some of these leelas.
Yes. Yeah. And any other takeaway points, Prabhuji?
The important takeaway point is like how Prabhupada is encouraging the devotees to practice Krishna consciousness, and also saying that to attract the students. I think it's such a wonderful point because students are very vulnerable. That they are in a stage where they take different directions, because most of the time people take to different habits or take to different line of careers and all these things during the student life. So that's a very important stage, a turning point in the life where either they can take bad habits and get in the wrong way, or they can take to Krishna consciousness at that age. So at a very young age, it's easy to learn so many things and contribute to Krishna consciousness. So I think Prabhupada had a very important point there, that try to take charge of the students, because at the young age they're very good at they can take, because we've seen that happening in Manor, we've seen that happening in Soho Temple. Youngsters who are taking to Krishna consciousness, they're so absorbed and there's so much, and they learn so many things so very quickly. So yeah, they're our future. Yes, Prabhuji. I like the way Prabhupada always encourages his devotees to go and spread. And he was Krishna. Prabhupada was such a visionary that whoever was serving Krishna, he used to encourage them to think big and grow higher. So like here, he's saying, if you can get the land in Miami and open a center. So Prabhupada was always encouraging his devotees how to spread and just not think, but think out of the box, like how we can grow and how we can build up Krishna consciousness. Because Krishna is unlimited. And even Krishna Leelas, Krishna consciousness is unlimited also. You can start and grow bigger and bigger. So, and the other thing is like Hare Nama Krishna. It's beautiful to know that I didn't know that Lord Chaitanya is actually was singing at that point of time. So that's another wonderful thing for me to know.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very beautifully explained and summarized this letter. Okay, so any other takeaway points, dear devotees, you wanted to add to this? Okay, so that is from the Srila Prabhupada's letter, and Prabhupada here explaining that one has to follow the rules and regulations strictly. And then when the devotees are so always strictly engaged in the devotional service, carefully following these rules and regulations, Krishna will surely bestow upon the full success in Krishna consciousness, and thus your life will be happy and successful. And also when the devotees recommend to the spiritual master, they will be given the initiation as well. So generally now here, one has to go through the kind of mentoring process. But when a devotee is doing that chanting and following the regulatory principles sincerely, then spiritual master, he will come and he will give the initiation. Krishna sends, arranges that kind of union between the disciple and the spiritual master. And then again here, one point is the six-armed form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was shown to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. That is Krishna, Rama, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is also, it is also shown in the America. Prabhupada was explaining this. And then further, and this point is either Krishna does whatever he does, we just need to glorify him. Either he dances with the gopis or he fights in the Kurukshetra battle or arranges the fight in the Kurukshetra battle. Or he makes the devotee to come back to him because his vision is very high. We are in the small, we are on the low level. It depends on the level our consciousness is. When we are with Krishna, with very high level view, simply doing just like a puppet in the hand of Krishna, then everything will be revealed to us. Sevormukhe jihvado swayameva spurtyadaha. And when we, in that way, we'll become the puppets of Krishna and then have the association with Krishna, experience this highest pleasure. Okay, so that is further. And then Prabhupada is mentioning, chant them, let them chant regularly and follow the four regulative principles, and they will become firm in their faith in Krishna. If you recommend, I shall initiate them. If you send the set of beats, this is our standard process. Recommendation is needed. Okay, so this is my takeaway points as well. So from this Prabhupada's letter. Okay, so that is from, and then from the announcements point of view. So coming Tuesday, it is preaching practice session with Supriya Gopi Mataji at 8 p.m. And tomorrow, Monday evening, we have got teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Okay, those are our upcoming events. And dear devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything from the temple events perspective or anything festivals, anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Hare Krishna. In about Annakuta or Govardhana Puja or anything from the temple.
Yes,
Shyam.
yes, yeah. Yesterday was Annakuta. The occasion was so beautiful. It was very, very blissful. In the morning, we had that in the Haveli. And then the procession was taken with Radha Gokuland towards the Goshala, and then there were some dances done over there. So everything was so joyful. And then evening they distributed the prasadam to everyone. And then there was kirtan going on throughout the whole day. So yesterday, yeah, we were like completely in the main manner, celebrating the Govardhan Puja as well as Annakuta. And also the New Year. Yesterday was a New Year for the Gujarati. So yeah, it was a very blissful day. Celebrating the Govardhan Puja.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So it is nice to hear. Can vision those events, what could have been happening in the temple, though not present physically.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. We went, but it was a bit late, and then Ankul Darshan was finished, but they still get chance to do the Radha Gokulanand Darshan, and it was very busy, Prabhu. The queue was a bit long also. Yeah, but it was so nice to have Darshan. Yeah, correct.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so that is from the updates point of view. Any other things? Any other sharings?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I don't know if I mentioned I used to go and visit a devotee in a care home for some time now, every week, and read Bhagavad Gita and sing Narasimha prayers to her. And she fell ill and went to hospital, came back to the care home, and I went to see her a couple of times, and she was on her last rites. So I was on my break, and not yesterday, day before. I rushed to the one Mataji to get tulsi and holy water, and she gave me some dust from Vrindavan, and I took it to her. And just in the nick of time, I was able to deliver. And another devotee from the temple I know, we sang Narasimha Kavacha to her and read Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, chapter 8. So was it? Which one is it? 12?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, chapter 12. And we sang to her, and she responded a couple of times in her breathing pattern. And then she was so very peaceful, and and we went away in the night. It was early evening, and then the next morning she passed on at 7 o'clock. That was very auspicious time as well. So we were so pleased she went in such a beautiful way. So we've got the members of ashram going to her, and they'll do kirtan, and on Friday it's her crematorium, in the crematorium. And she's gonna be cremated. So her family are far wide. She was a young devotee as well. But the beauty of how we captured that moment, so beautiful. And it didn't feel like very sad, it was it was such a send off. So I'm sure it's helped her to go on her holy path. So just wanted to share that, how wonderful moment it was.
Is the Mataji is a devotee Mataji, like
She used to be a devotee, yes.
coming to Mana temple and then?
Yes, yes, the Mana temple. And so there's a provision we have in the temple. We do, they call it Meals on Wheels, or they call it Krishna devotee, and so we reach out to them to take meals, and try and help them to get about, because they're getting on. These are for older people or people who are disabled,
Yeah.
but they're devotees, so we take care of the devotees. Is a quite a big group now. It just started simply, but I had problems with the partner who was telling me not to read to her, don't bring your religion, and it was quite abusive a couple of times. But I talked to him a lot, of and introduced a bit of psychology, and I won him over, and he was very happy. He was there when we were doing it. It was good, and he was really pleased that she received that kind of service, and he did comment that how well we are doing a grand piece of work.
Yeah, very beautiful Mataji to hear
It
that.
was so beautiful, and I really felt, that I managed to do my bit before she left her body. She had some family from America came recently, and I met them, and they were really pleased that she was having this kind of service. She has got a son, but I never met him. And the partner and the son don't get on, so there was a bit of animosity there. But I kept persevering, and I won him over, and he was happy, and she was relishing the reading every week, and we used to sing Narasimha prayers as well. And she would join in, but he said she can't respond, she doesn't speak, she can't take in anything. But I spoke to her gradually. She was able to respond, and she said she was enjoying, and she was joining in the Bhagavad Gita's discussion as well as singing. So that was a real, that's a mystical moment, really.
It's nice Mataji to hear such kind of events. It is giving hope to everyone.
Yeah. I
And
just wanted to share it because it's a pleasurable moment. Death is nothing at all, really. It's just you shedding the body. The soul is still there.
yes. Okay, so that is very good moments as well about the soul, the journey of the soul, and the devotee is compassionate. Whenever Krishna was mentioning Aham smarami madbhaktaha, so there is one particular statement that the Lord speaks. that he would, whenever devotee is not able to chant his names, then the Lord only arranges the situation because of the bodily constitution. His body is not able to make him to speak Krishna. Then Krishna arranges those things. Aham
Yeah.
swarami madbhaktaha.
Very, very truly said, Prabhu. It was so. How did it happen? I went to get those items and quickly fulfill the needs. So Krishna arranged it. It was amazing. And I turned up on my own, and then suddenly a friend of her came and we sung together. It was so beautiful. And she was from the temple as well. She used to go to the temple. She wasn't initiated, but she was, she used to go regular to all the functions, and she used to even walk to the temple because she lived about 2-3 miles away. And I didn't know her then, though. This is the thing. I didn't know her, but even so, I get to know her. You didn't have to have that kind of relationship. So whatever relationship I had was so relishable and so useful for her.
Yes. Okay, so thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing that moment. So Krishna is always there, even though our body doesn't work properly. So yadi vatadi doshena mad bhakto mam nachasmaret. If he is not able to remember yadi vata doshena and the bodily defects, then aham smarami mad bhaktaha nayami paramagatim. Nayami paramagatim. So in such a way, he'll bring his soul to his abode. Okay, that is from the sharings and reflections. We shall move on to next part. So today, next part of our program is the Ramayana, reading of Ramayana about Ramachandra. Okay, so we have been in the part one. Okay, so we have completed the 10 chapters of Ramayana, part 1. This is the betrayed, and where in the last, this is the chapter 10 is the sad farewells, and Ramachandra and Sita Devi Lakshmana. So they will be sent to the forest, and Rama is prepared, and in it, in the last uh, session, we have seen Sumitra stroked Kaushalya's face and then consoled him. She spoke to assuage her own suffering as much as that of Kaushalya, because she told Kaushalya not to worry, Rama would surely be protected by the terrible weapons that Vishwamitra gave him. He would dwell fearlessly in the forest just as he would in his own place. Sumitra concluded, knowing the power of that prince, I have no doubt we will see him return as soon as his term of exile is concluded. With Rama as your son, you should not grieve in the least, for your good fortune is very great indeed. Shed your sorrow now, O sinless lady, for all the people must be uh, comforted by you at this time, pained as they are by Rama's separation. So, comforted by Sumitra, Kaushalya felt relief and embraced her co-wife tightly. The two queens sat together for a long time, lost in thoughts of Rama. Nearby, the king lay almost unconscious on a couch, repeatedly murmuring Rama's name. So, that is the position of Dasharatha. And now, so Rama is mentioning to Sumantra that, so Sumantra, giving all the instructions, whatever happens, and if people are asking to stop the chariot, do not stop. And also, if my father is coming behind, and then if he is asking to stop, do not stop. Later on, when he asks that why you have stopped, then you say that due to the sound of so many people, I could not hear you. So just in order to make my father to stand on the truth for the higher purpose. Likewise, Ramachandra has mentioned to Sumantra, and then they have departed from Ayodhya to the forest. So that is where we have stopped. Now we are entering into the part 2 of Ramayana. So it is into the forest. So again, this is a small chapter only. So we shall read into it what happened after Rama and Lakshmana left the city. Okay, so can I request dear devotees to take the turns? So Sham Prabhuji is here. We'll give the opportunity to Sham Prabhuji. Prabhuji as a Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The first 3 paragraphs, would you like to read? Otherwise, if Prabhuji is not available, we shall go to the alphabetical order. Asha Mataji, would you like to start the first 3 paragraphs?
After their father had returned, Rama and Lakshman left the city and went along country paths towards the forest. Even though they urged Sumandra to drive quickly, a large number of citizens continued to follow them. Rama stopped to rest after some time and allowed the people to reach him. He said to them with affection, "You have shown your great love for me beyond any doubt. Now, for my pleasure, please bestow this same love upon my brother Bharata. I am sure he will take good care of you in every possible way. Although still a youth, he is old in wisdom and greatly heroic. He will prove a worthy master and dispel all your sorrows and fears. Serve him well, for he has been selected by our Lord the Emperor. It is also my desire that all of you please him with your service. Be kind to the Emperor, so that he may not suffer excessive agony in my absence." Rama tried hard to make the people turn back, but they would not return. The more Rama showed his determination to stick to the path of righteousness and truth, the more people desired to have him as their ruler. It was it was as if Rama and Lakshmana, by the force of their virtuous qualities, had bound the people and were dragging them along. The the chariot began to move forward again, and a group of elderly Brahmins, their heads shaking with age, ran behind, struggling to uh, keep pace as the chariot picked up speed. They called out, "Oh, sweet steeds, stop! Stop! Oh, sweet steed, stop! Come back, Ram! Come back and be friendly to your master Rama, who is always intent on pleasing the Brahmins. O horses, hold! Although endowed with excellent ears, do you not hear our plaintive cry? You should not bear Rama away. He is pure-minded, heroic, and virtuous. Therefore, you should return him to the city to be our king, not carry him away to some distant, lonely place." Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Very nicely read. So here in this 3 paragraphs, so Rama, Lakshmana sitting on the chariot and moving, and then Rama stopped to rest after some time and allowed the people to reach him. So this is traveling. So even the horses might have been tired. So again, also Rama wanted give an opportunity for the people to come and meet him, reach him with affection. The people. Uh, So he is mentioning, "You have shown your great love for me beyond any doubt." So the love you have got for me, and similarly, you show the same love towards the emperor, who is Bharata, my brother, and he has got a great wisdom. So he is appreciating Bharata as well. Bharata loved Rama too much, and similarly, the relation between the brothers is like that, very strong. But here, this loving relationship is not understood by Kaikeyi. And here still Rama is saying, be kind to the emperor so that he may not suffer excessive agony in my absence. And then though Rama is saying that to return, make the people return back, but they would not return. And though Rama is mentioning his determination and sticking to the path of righteousness and truth, but people are more desire to have him as their ruler. So this is one side his good qualities are increasing, and another side the people desire to have him is also increasing. It was as if Rama and Lakshman by the records of their virtual qualities had bound the people and were dragging them along. See, this is what happens when a person has got all good qualities, then people would not leave him. And so they are putting so many things like their desires. Oh, horses, stop there, do not go further, and keep Rama here itself. And he Rama means who is always pleasing. Ramante yogino anante satyanande chidatmani. So this is satyanande chidatmani. So he is called Param Brahma. Rama iti Param Brahma abhidiyate. Iti Ramapadena asau Param Brahma abhidiyate. That is Ramachandra. Iti Ramapadena asau Param Brahma abhidiyate. Rama is the Param Brahma. So that's why people, they are purely attracted to Ramachandra. So they are putting so many things that for the sake of Rama and Krishna, we can do anything. So just like whenever Vasudeva, so his promise to Kamsa is to give all the children to Kamsa as soon as they are born. But whenever Krishna is born, Vasudeva, he did not keep his promise. So for the Krishna's sake, he did not do that. He did not stick on to his promise. So that Krishna appreciates that one. For the Lord's sake, that's why Ramante Yogino Anante Satyanande Chidatmani iti Ramapadena so Param Brahma Abhidhiyate. So that for Rama's sake we do anything. So Dasharatha is keep on remembering on the couch in the Ayodhya palace when the Kaushalya and Sumitra are talking about the Rama's pastimes. Because this is all good qualities. When a person has got filled up with all good qualities, no one would want him to leave away from their community or the home. Okay, so we shall continue. Can I request next Gauringi Mataji, please? Next 3 paragraphs.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Ram locked back to yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Okay. Rama looked back, feeling compassion for the distract. Sorry, couldn't see properly. That's why. Brahmins, he did not. Yeah, he did not to write himself well. Brahmanes worked, so he got down from his chariot and continued on foot. Although his heart was breaking to see the people's Agnes. Rama looked straight ahead and walked with firm strides, followed by Sita and Lakshmana. Sumantra drove slowly behind them in the chariot. As the Brahmins continue to braces them. They gradually approached the banks of the river Tamasa, searching out a suitable site. They decide to camp there for the night. The Chitra. Sorry, I couldn't see Prabhuji. I use mobile. That's why very small. Yeah. The citizen of Ayodhya compared nearby. Rama really said the horse and followed them to drink the clear river water. After bathing, Rama spoke to Lakshman, indicating the forest across the water. There is the desolate woods, my brother. Um, mm, it showing on all sides with the sound of bird and birds. The city of Ayodhya will similarly resound with the cries of forlorn men and women, lamenting for our having left. I fear for my father and mother who must be wiping incessantly and will perhaps even lose their sight. Rama thought of Bharata. By now, he would have been informed of the situation. Thinking of Bharata, nobility, Rama felt reassured is as he spoke with Lakshman. I am sure the high-minded Bharata will take good care of our parents, uh, uh, consoling them in every way. As a reflect upon Bharata's soft hardness and pity. My mind is pacified, my dear Lakshman. I am grateful you have chosen to follow me, for this too gives me solace. Um, Fasting for this our first night in the forest in accord with the special codes. I shall now sleep peacefully. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I did so many
Hare
mistakes. Sorry about that, Prabhuji.
You have read nicely, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
So here in these three paragraphs, again, Rama looked back, feeling the compassion for the distressed Brahmins. And he did not want to ride himself while Brahmins walked. So he got down from his chariot and continued on the foot. So again, he's always Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. He is always worshipping the Brahmins. So whenever Brahmins are very performing the sacrifices and all, so the Lord is explaining about the Brahmins. Naham tadamni yajamana havirvitani chotad gutapla madhan prasubhuk mukena yad tad brahmanasya mukataha charato nagasam tustasya may avhitaihi nijakarma pakaihi. Naham tadabni yajamana havirvitani. So I am the Lord of the sacrifices. And he mentions Aham Yajamana Havirvitani. And within that 5 sacrifices, Chotat Gutaplamadhan Prutubhuk Mukena, the Brahmanas offer this, the sacrifice altar, the ghee, rice with the ghee, some kind of thing, so all kinds of things, the fruits and all kinds of grains like that. Prutubhuk Mukena, Chotata Grutam, the Grutam is the ghee, Aplutam, it is the which is mixed with the Grutam. Prutubhuk Mukena, and Prutubhuk Mukena is the through the fire sacrifice. Yet Charavanante Bhagun Agnihotram. When how the Lord accepts these all the offerings is through the fires. This is the Yet Charavanante Bhagun Agnihotram. So the Lord is saying that Tustasya may avhitaihi nijakarma pakaihi. When these Brahmanas take the rice when they are eating by through their mouths, that is more satisfying me than I eat this the fire through the yajnas and all the sacrifices. Yad brahmanasya mukataha charatonughasam. Charatonughasam. This is the rice balls. When they are eating through yad that brahmanasya mukataha, when they are through the mouth of the Brahmins, when they are eating, tustasya may avhitaihi nijakarma pakaihi. I am be very pleased. The Lord says to Kumaras there in the Vaikuntha. So now here if see when the Lord is seeing such kind of Brahmins are walking and Lord is sitting on the chariot, he says that feeling compassion for this distressed Brahmins, he got down from his chariot and continued on the foot. Although his heart was breaking to see the people's anguish, Rama looked straight ahead and walked with the firm strides. See, he looked and then walked, and followed by Sita and Lakshman. And Sita and Lakshman, what they do, they also follow in the footsteps of Rama, whatever Rama does. And Sumantra drove slowly behind them in the chariot as the Brahmins continued to beseech them. They gradually approached the banks of the river Tamasa river. Searching out the suitable site, they decided to camp there for the night. The citizens of Ayodhya nearby. So again, still citizens of Ayodhya are still following Rama. And then Rama released the horses and allowed them to drink the water. After bathing, Rama spoke to Lakshman, indicating the forest across the river, across the water. So showing that one. Uh, and so the citizens of Ayodhya camped nearby. Still they are following Ramachandra. So they are at one place, Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita are at one place. They took their camp and Rama took bath, and also the horses drank the water, clear water. And then here he is mentioning that in this forest, he is speaking to Lakshmana that there are so many birds chirping and so many of things, uh, desolated woods. So my brother, echoing on the all sides with the sounds of birds and beasts, the city of Ayodhya will similarly resound with the cries of forlorn men and women. So here, if we see the analogy, one is one side comparing the birds in the forest, and again comparing the people in the Ayodhya. Always in the Bhagavatam, we see these comparisons. This is kind of attraction, pointing to the supreme object, Krishna, supreme personality of Godhead, Rama or Krishna. To understand Krishna in this material world through the sound vibrations, through the analogies. So as soon as we remember the drinking the water, this is rasopiam rasoham api kaunteya. So he says, I am the taste of the water. And when we drink the water, we remember Krishna. Likewise, when we see the flowers, flowers are always decorating to Krishna's body in the Vanamala. Likewise, whatever we see, as soon as we see lotus flower, again we remember Krishna. And as soon as we see the cows, cows are very dear to Krishna. Link everything. And as here, Rama is giving analogy that the birds and beasts in the forest, again, like they are chirping, echoing in all sides. And likewise, people in the Ayodhya, they are lamenting for ourselves, our having left in the Ayodhya. So again, comparing everything in linking with Krishna there, people and the nature. One side people, and one side devotees, another side is the nature. I fear for my father and mother who must be weeping incessantly and will perhaps even lose their sight. This is the mood of the parents who lose their children. And then later on, Rama is showing his appreciating Lakshmana's decision to come behind Rama and thinking of Bharata that he will look after the citizen very nicely. Bharata's soft-heartedness and piety. So Rama knows about the Bharata's uh, soft-heartedness and piety as well. And so by thinking that, Rama is also pacified. And he mentions to Lakshmana that so when the devotee is with Krishna, and Krishna is very, very happy. So he says, I'm grateful to have chosen to follow me, O Lakshmana, for this too gives me solace. So fasting for this, our first night in the forest in accord with the scriptural codes, I shall now sleep peacefully. Here, Ramachandra, Lakshmana, and Sita, they're going to live in the forest. So they're taking for next 14 years. So kind of the fasting here. So forest is going to give the shelter to Ramachandra. So here he is following again scriptural codes to fast. Okay, so we shall continue. Next, can I request Jahna Kanya Mataji, please, for next 3 paragraphs.
Hare Krishna. Lakshman had Sumitra prepared a bed of leaves on the ground, and Rama lay upon that with Sita. He soon fell asleep, but Lakshman stayed awake, guarding his brother. Nearby, he could see the many fires lit by the people who were following Rama towards the forest. So, who is Sumantra? Okay. In the middle of the night, Rama rose and again spoke with his brother. It seems there is no possibility of convincing the citizens to return to their homes. He said, looking across the place where the people had set up camp, just see the pains they are taking to follow us. Sleeping now on the bare ground, surely they would sooner give up their lives than go back to the city without us. Let us leave immediately while the people still sleep. They should not have to endure this austerity further on our behalf. As rulers of the people, it is our duty to eradicate our subject suffering. Certainly, we should not cause them pain. Thus, we must leave now and throw them off our trail. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Lakshman agrees, and as Rama woke Sita, he rose Sumitra and had him prepare the chariot. The 2 princes and Sita climbed aboard, and Sumatra drove it swiftly upstream away from the sleeping people. The charioteer crossed a shallow part of the river and then, leaving the common road, drove through the woods, doubling back and going back different paths, sometimes riding through the shallow waters for some distance. Sumantra made sure the people would not be able to track them. He drove quickly, and before dawn, they had gone a considerable distance from where the camp was. The citizens were camped. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here again, Rama is making the situation peaceful. Otherwise, all of his devotees who are affectionate to Ramachandra, they are following, and Ramachandra does not want them to get suffer in the forest. So That's why he is living without their notice. So this is kind of a plan. So sometimes they're going in the water, so that if you go in the water, they cannot trace. If they are going on the land, it will leave the prints on the land, so they may come back in that same path. So that's why Rama is giving this kind of instructions to Sumantra to drive that chariot. In the similar way, when we are living in our day-to-day life, we are in the following the Vedic injunctions, Varnashrama Dharma. Varnashrama Dharma, it makes the gradual progress in the spiritual life. And sometimes devotees come to Krishna, okay, I wanted to become Krishna, devoted to Krishna, but still they are young. So sometimes the journey may be very struggle, because once he surrenders completely, that is well and good, but he has to go through so many tribulations, completely surrendering Krishna, and then throughout the life he has to maintain the follow those rules and regulations strictly. One can progress, but not going downwards. So that way, that is what we observe. But here, it's a spiritual progression must be gradual, not suddenly come, I will become devotee within one night. There are devotees situations also in the past, so that is there. But uh, people might have gone through so many pious activities in before in their previous lives. They can become like that, like the Goswamis. So they have completely renounced and they have maintained like that. Here, people from the Ayodhya, they are coming to Krishna, but they will suffer in the forest because their families and then still Brahmins. There are so many dependents on them and the Brahmins as well. So that's why here Krishna making them stay there, and then he is living with Sita Devi, Lakshmana, and making Sumantra to uh, take them to the forest without anyone's notice. Of course, later on, these Ayodhya people, they will go back to the Ayodhya, and then they will wait for Ramachandra to come back after 14 years. So until then, they will have a thinking of Ramachandra and Sita, Lakshman. That is Vipralambha Bhava. Okay, so we shall move on. Okay, can I request now Usha Mataji to read next 3 paragraphs, please?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes. As dawn approached in the camp, the sound of numerous birds mingled with the lowing of the cows which grazed freely on the riverbank. Roused by this sound, the citizens arose and soon discovered that Ram and his party had left. They were shocked and began to loudly lament. They condemned Sri for having stolen Ram from them. Falling to the ground, they wept and said, how could Rama, who is fit to rule the globe, put on the dress of an ascetic and live for distant lands? How did that jewel among men, who was like a loving father, go to the forest, leaving us forlorn? Let us now meet our end by fasting until death, or by setting out on the final great journey to the north. Looking all around, they found big logs of dry wood. Some of them suggested they pile up the wood or to make a funeral fire and immediately enter it. What use was that life now? What could they say to their near and dear ones in Ayodhya when asked of Ram's whereabouts? How could they say they let him enter the forest even as they slept? When they returned without Ram, the city would surely become desolate and devoid of all happiness. Having gone out with that high-souled hero, firmly determined to follow him anywhere, how could they now go back without him? Continuously crying out, the citizens sought shot out the chariot's tracks and began to follow them. When they found themselves thrown off the trail by Sumantra's expert driving, they became utterly despondent. Their anguished voices echoed around the woods. Alas, what shall we do? We are doomed by providence. Gradually, the bewildered citizens began to reluctantly head back towards Ayodhya, following the tracks and the chariots had made when leaving the previous day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So again, here as soon as Rama and Lakshmana and Sita, they left to the forest again without noticing the citizens. They have woke up now and they see that the Rama is not there and they have left already. And they were shocked and began to loudly lament. How can Rama has left us here and then he gone? So how did that jewel among men, who was like a loving father, go to the forest, leaving us forlorn? Let us now meet our end by fasting until death. This is their attachment by setting out on the final great journey to the north. So, and then what they're seeing, looking all around, they found a big logs of dry wood. Some of them suggested that they pile up wood to make a funeral pyre and immediately enter into it because the separation from Ramachandra. So what use was their life now? What could they have to say their near and dear ones in Ayodhya when asked of Rama's whereabouts? So this is a very deep attachment when one is having. How do we perceive in our day-to-day life? So Rama is the Ramanti Yogino Anante Satyarandi Chidatmani. Ramanti Yogino Anante. What is the happiness of the yogi? So yogi, he is dwell himself. Atmanev Atmana Tushtaha. Tasya Prajna Pratisthita. He is always self-satisfied and he renders service unto the Supreme Lord, who is the controller of everyone. And there he derives so much of pleasure, that is the Rama. Such kind of pleasure never be separated from one's life because it will make him complete in all times and circumstances, time, place, and all kinds of circumstances. That should not be left. We should not neglect that kind of happiness at any point of time. So here, when the Ayodhya people are having lost such kind of Ramachandra here, they do not want to live anymore. What use was their life now? So this is the once param društva nivattate. Param društva is the happiness which is higher happiness, highest happiness. Then we will leave all the smaller things. We do not have to worry about the smaller things. Now, once they leave that, once who tasted that happiness, highest happiness, how can anyone live without it? So here they are now. How could they say that they let him enter the forest even as they slept? When they returned without Rama, the city would surely become desolate and devoid of all happiness. Having gone out with that high-souled hero, firmly determined to follow him anywhere, how could they now go back without him? So these are all contemplations by the citizens of Ayodhya who are following Ramachandra. Continuously crying out, the citizens sought out the chariot's tracks and began to follow them. They found themselves thrown off the trail by Sumantra's expert driving. No more trails. They could not find any trails there, chariot trails. They became utterly despondent. Alas, what shall we do? We are doomed by providence. Gradually, the bewildered citizens began to reluctantly head back toward Ayodhya. This is what Ramchandra desired. They have to go back to Ayodhya in due course of time. 14 years, it will just pass by. So that's why they have returned back to Ayodhya now. They began reluctantly head back towards Ayodhya. They have got dependents, family, children, and everything to carry out. Okay, so that is
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes.
So some of them went back and some went in the fire. Yeah.
So here they have initial thoughts, but later on they do have got some duties, families, and dependents. And then if you simply enter into the fire, what use is it after that? They cannot achieve anything further.
All right. Okay.
So
All of them went back. Yeah.
yeah,
I got it. Yeah. But Prabhu, what happens to the soul in a case where, because it was a practice in those days, wasn't it, to set yourself alight when you're despondent in that way? So what happens to the soul? Do they suffer real bad, or because just it's a suicide, isn't it?
it is kind of a suicide, but
It's a
there is,
holy suicide.
so here the people are not yet, though they have attachment to Ramachandra, but still they have got some duties. They follow the Sanatana Dharma. And then immediately, though they have got that feeling, but still they remember that they have got some duty here again.
Yeah.
And so here, gradually, the bewildered citizens began to reluctantly head back toward Ayodhya, following the tracks chariot had made them when leaving the previous day. So again, whatever the way the chariot and all of them, they were following the Ramachandra's chariot, and then in the same way they returned back. And see, this is what generally feel. Alas, what shall we do now? We are doomed by providence. Because when we are not complete in the jnana knowledge and the detachments, jnana vairagya yuktena bhakti yogena yoginaha kshemaya padamulami pravishinti akuto bhayam. When one is not in that complete knowledge, what happens then? They are bewildered. Bewildered citizens began to reluctantly head back toward Ayodhya. Again, they live in the way they have been in the Ayodhya, continue their lives. They have to wait for 14 years.
Yeah. So my question was
And
around
yeah,
what
that
happens to the soul.
and the person,
What sort of a process does it go through if they burn themselves? I'm not sure
yes,
how
this
that works.
one. So here, the state, the status of the citizens is there one side. So when Ramachandra and Sita they have gone to the forest, there one of the sage he is waiting for Ramachandra to come. He has performed so many of austerities, and then he has to give up his body. At the time, Indra has come to that sage. I don't remember exactly his name. Indra has come with all his the brilliantly effulgent chariot, and then spoke to that sage, saying that Rama is going to come here. So as soon as he comes here, you give some instructions to him, and then mm, you can leave your body. So likewise, Indra, when Rama was entering, he is watching that Indra is there and speaking with that sage, and then Indra left. And then still Rama is entering into that ashrama of that sage. And then Rama went and speak that to the sage, and the sage said, Rama, I am here. I wanted to leave my body in front of you. And then after giving those whatever the Indra has mentioned, some instructions he gave to Ramachandra, and while in front of Ramachandra, he entered into the fire pyre. And then immediately he got his spiritual body and he went back to the spiritual world in front of Ramachandra. So he has got that body in the presence of Ramachandra. In the presence of Ramachandra, even Jatayu also left his body in the service of Ramachandra. So here the citizens, they're with affection, they're coming behind Ramachandra. But actually, what they will do they have any service? They have here. Lakshmana is going to make the path clear for Ramachandra. He is engaged in the service. And what the citizens are going to do? So still they are not yet in the right position. How they will be engaged at that time with Ramachandra? So what happens to them if they leave their body? And what is the purpose they are going to leave their body? It decides.
Yeah. There's a purpose, and in front of God, it's always, you will get moksha. But if somebody decide because they're devastated for some reason, and they could have been a devotee, but they decide to enter paya. That was what I was thinking about.
Yes. So it is the purpose. What is the main intention to leave the body?
Yeah. Very well.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So just we shall finish with 3 more paragraphs. Do we have a Sham Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Would you like to read the next to these 3 paragraphs, please? Or 4 paragraphs on your page, please.
Ayodhya, starting from Ayodhya, no, Prabhuji?
Depressed and
Yeah.
despairing.
Depressed and despairing, the citizens finally arrived in the city. They were blinded by grief and hardly able to distinguish between their own relatives and others. They searched for their homes with difficulty, some of them even entering the wrong houses. Afflicted with sorrow, they cast their eyes all around, and although the city and the houses were filled with abundant riches, to them it appeared vacant and nothing gave them pleasure. Ayodhya seemed at that time to be like a firmament bereft of the moon. Everywhere its citizens shed tears, and all of them felt like giving up their lives. No one rejoiced on any occasion, even when coming upon unexpected fortune or seeing the birth of a firstborn son. Merchants did not display the merchandise, nor did the goods ever seem attractive. Householders did not cook food, and the household deities were neglected. As the men returned home without Rama, their wives reproached them. Without seeing Rama, what is the use of a house, children, and wealth? The wife said, it seems the only virtuous man in this world is Lakshmana, who has followed Rama to the forest in order to serve him. Is Prabhuji till then?
One more paragraph, Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhuji. The men pained by the loss of Rama made no reply. Their wives lamented at length. How could they remain under the protection of the old king who has lost his good sense and sent Rama away? Worse still was the prospect of serving Kaikeyi, whose aim was now completely achieved. Having forsaken her husband and disgraced her family for the sake of power, who else would she not abandon?
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So here, if we observe this one, the mood of Ayodhya people and the gopis who have got separated from Krishna when Krishna departed to Dwaraka from Vrindavana. So anyone find any differences here? The mood of the people and the attachment to Ramchandra for the Ayodhya people and gopis. So it is in the similar way. It is a Vipralamba Bhava. They are lamenting for Ramachandra. So no one rejoiced on any occasion, even when coming upon unexpected fortune or seeing the birth of firstborn son. So they have lost that kind of mood. So they're still thinking of Ramachandra. And still, as the men returned home without Rama, their wives reproached them. Without seeing Rama, what is the use of our house, children, or wealth? The wife said, it seems the only virtuous man in this world is Lakshman, who has followed Rama to the forest in order to serve him. See, again here, to serve him. Even the people knows that Lakshmana is the most fortunate, virtuous man. He is fortune, and he went to the forest to serve Ramachandra. That is the Lakshmana, Lakshmi Sampanna. There is a words like few words. It comes as kind of a proverb. Lakshmana, Lakshmi Sampanna, who is always in the service of the Lord. He is called all the wealth of this world. Not only this world, Lakshmi Sampanna, goddess of fortune. Okay, and then so they could not, even thus men, they could not reply to their wives. The wives lamented at length, how could they remain under the protection of old king Dasharatha? So one has to have Ramchandra in their lives. And then further, again, they're just criticizing. Worse still was the prospect of serving Kaikeyi. Now, because of Kaikeyi, Ramchandra has left to the forest. Okay, so likewise, the mood of Ayodhya people. So this is how they have lived, and then Ramchandra returned back after 14 years and then ruled the kingdom of Ayodhya for 11,000 years. And then at the end of the 11,000 years, all the people of Ayodhya, and whenever Ramchandra winding up his pastimes, they also went behind Ramchandra, inclusive of birds, beasts, and everything, went to the spiritual world, and Ayodhya became vacant. That was the mood of the people. They lived always keeping Ramchandra in the center point. Okay, that is, we stop here, and I request dear devotees kindly reflect. If you have any sharings or you want to raise any questions, please raise or share. Hare Krishna. So that's why we have got Rama and Krishna in our lives all the time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. इति षोडशकं नाम्नां कलिकल्मषनाशकं नातः परतः उपायः सर्ववेदेषु दृश्यते. So attachment to Rama and Krishna, those names are absolute. So non-different from the Lord. We are attached to that Nama. And Shyam Prabhu says, Kalikale Namarupe. The Lord appears in the name of, in his names, Namarupe. Okay, so that is from Ramayana. We shall stop here. Jahnakanya Mataji wanted to add anything?
No, I think it's very clear, Prabhu. Very nice. Thank you.
Again, hearing about Ramachandra, it gives pleasure.
Absolutely. It's so beautiful. Good example for us to take forward. That faith and respect to the elders and honoring your people is so important. So important. And he sacrificed and humbly retreat just to please the people and keep his position as a king, which is the uppermost position, because he believed in his people and he's providing for them what they deserve. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for that reflections. So now, whatever the village in India we go, every village mostly they will have temple in the center of the village. Ramachandra, Rama temple is there. So that is how everyone are attached to Rama. But that is Rama Tattva is straightforward, and whereas Krishna Tattva, it will go so many bends, and it is a bit difficult to understand. Sometimes it bewildering. Though Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, it bewilders sometimes non-devotees, especially devotees. They understand easily. When the Lord is able to create this universe, He can do anything. He can do, just like if we have got any small toy in our home, we can keep the way we like it. Likewise, the Lord also act. But if the toys thinks, why this man is keeping me like here? If toys thinks like that, they do not have any knowledge about the owner of that toy. So all our bodies are given by the nature, and they are being played by the three material modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. But devotees understand. Like in the previous letter, Prabhupada is mentioning, whatever Krishna does, it doesn't matter. We simply serve him. Okay, so with that one, we shall conclude our Ramayana part, and then We shall continue with further chapter if you are all happy.
And Prabhu, the good thing about this story is not once has Lord Ram held grudges against his stepmother, who was so wicked towards him. And even when he returned this season in the Diwali celebration, he went and bowed to her feet. How many of us would do that? You know, it's very, very good example that we must not hold grudges. We must just carry on and respect. Keep that respect. The person is the position of that person still remains, but their actions, you don't have to, you know, take it at heart and destroy yourself. Because when you do these things, you are destroying yourself.
Yes.
Beautiful. When he came back, he went straight and bowed to her feet. That was so powerful.
Yes, Mataji. So Ramchandra, he never discriminated between Kaushalya, Kaikeya, and Sumitra. They're all
His
worshipable.
mother, yeah.
Yes. So it is by the constitutional position. So generally, we need to think whether it is instead of thinking this person is beautiful or great like that. Our constitutional position is I am a son, they are the father, they are the mother. As simple as that. And my duty is to render service unto them. As simple as that. That is dharma. Dharma was the based on constitutional position. And beyond that, if we are just thinking in our own way, I am great, I am knowledge in such a way, just then he will lose his dharma. He is not acting on his constitutional position. Likewise, our shastras, yatha gava nasiprotaha tancham baddhanamabihi. So similarly, all these the cows, they are tied up with a noose thread and then again another thread to tied up to a big rock or a big position, strong position, so that a cow cannot go beyond its range. So similarly, vak tancham namabihi. So this likewise by Vedic injunctions, everyone are tied up. Just by Vedic injunctions based on the constitutional position, either a son or a mother or a father, wherever it is one has to know his dharma. And if he is going beyond this, yeah, with this, yes, the Krishna says, who is going by leaving the Shastra aside and acting on his own, nasiddhim avapnoti, nasantim na paramgatim. Yes, Shastram Vidhi Vartate Kamakaratah न सिद्धिम अवाप्नोति न शांतिम param gatim न शांतिम न param gatim. He does not have any peace, no siddhis, no perfection of human life, no paragati. He does not attain any perfection of human life. He does not achieve if he is going beyond the shastras. Okay, these are the Vedic injunctions. We need to understand who we are and what is our relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what is our aim. Okay, those are all can be learned among the devotees association. Thank you so much, Mataji, for sharing those reflections. Okay, so we shall conclude and continue with further japa.
Patarubhyascha
Vancakल्पतरुभ्यश्च
kripasinubhyavach
परितानं पावनेभ्यो
pavanebhyo
वैष्णवेभ्यो
Vaishnavino
नमो
Namo
नमः
Namaha.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद
Vaishnavrinda ki
की
jai.
श्री
Srila
प्रभुपाद
Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Jai Shri
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Everyone.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु